Hey everyone, and welcome to Barbell Financial, where I teach you to get strong with money. If you've been following my channel, you may remember me as Millionaire Mentality. I've got a new name, but still the same channel.
Same, but different. But still same.
I'll still be bringing you market insights based on my perspective and experience, and bringing you guys along with how I'm investing my money and why. This is simply a rebrand to align with my new financial coaching and planning business. So if you're still here and continue to follow me and support me, then I greatly appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and stop what you're doing, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. It's 7 a.m. on Friday. I just finished a quick back workout. So stick around to the end of the video if you want to see highlights from that workout. It's super awkward filming at the gym, but hopefully I'll get more comfortable with it and make it a theme in my videos. But first, let's talk about some real big news this week, which was the SEC's approval of the long-anticipated Bitcoin ETF. It made so much noise this week that it drowned out the fact that the year-over-year CPI numbers for December were just released the other day, which showed a slight acceleration of inflation from 3.1 to 3.4%. Nothing too concerning for the time being, but obviously if inflation continues to uptrend month over month going forward, then it could force the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates higher for longer and potentially stall plans of future rate cuts. But let's talk about boring CPI. Trading of 11 different Bitcoin ETFs are now live. I tweeted earlier in the week that the ETFs were likely to be approved any day and included the annual fees to own a few of those ETFs. If you're not already following me on X or Twitter or whatever the cool kids call it these days, then go ahead and drop me a follow at BarbellFi. This means you can now get exposure to the price of Bitcoin in your brokerage account or IRA with Fidelity, Schwab, and many others. If you don't already know, ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund and is essentially the same thing as an index fund. But unlike an index fund, ETFs allow you to trade intraday, meaning you can buy and sell at the current price during market hours, whereas with an index fund, buying and selling happens at the market day's closing price. ETFs are also typically more tax efficient to hold in a taxable brokerage account since they do not throw off capital gains. It's important to note that with the Bitcoin ETF, you don't actually directly own Bitcoin as you would if you bought Bitcoin from a crypto exchange like Coinbase. The ETF tracks the price of Bitcoin. So why is this a big deal? Well, for starters, this is the first time you can gain exposure to Bitcoin's price inside a brokerage or retirement account like an IRA. And secondly, it's opening the floodgates for institutional money from big players like BlackRock to buy Bitcoin through the ETF. Now, if you want more exposure to Bitcoin, the main question you're probably asking yourself is, should I buy Bitcoin directly from an exchange or just buy the ETF? Let me help break it down for you very simply. If you plan on holding your Bitcoin long term, and when I say long term, I mean for decades, then buying and holding the ETF may not be the best for you. Simply because the ETF charges an annual fee called an expense ratio, just as any other ETF or index fund would. If you invest in a fund that bends you over with a 1% expense ratio, you'll pay $10 annually for every $1,000 invested. For example, if you buy and hold Cathie Wood's ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF, you're paying 0.8% or $8 annually for every $1,000 invested. That can add up over time if you're accumulating a lot of shares. On the flip side, ETF can be a good idea for you if you're long-term bullish on the price of Bitcoin and want to benefit from tax-free growth inside a Roth IRA. So if you think Bitcoin could double in price over the next 10 years, then holding the ETF in a Roth IRA would mean you would own zero tax on all those gains. The other option, buying Bitcoin from a crypto exchange like Coinbase, might be better for you if you want to actually own the commodity directly in your own custody, don't want to pay the recurring annual fees, and are very comfortable with how to take Bitcoin off of an exchange and hold it securely in your own cold storage wallet. As of the time of me producing this video, the market saw its first full day of live trading of the Bitcoin ETF with $4.6 billion in trading volume. For a comparison, when the gold ETF first went live in 2004, it broke the record on its first day with $1.6 billion in volume, so much less than the Bitcoin ETF's big debut, but granted, you'd have to adjust the gold ETF's volume for inflation for a fair comparison, and I just don't care enough to do that right now. A big news event from the Bitcoin ETF's first day of live trading was the announcement by Vanguard, the world's second largest asset manager, that they would not be allowing trading of the Bitcoin ETF on their platform, citing high volatility being bad for generating long-term returns and not aligning with Vanguard's core values. Other big box asset managers I've heard that followed Vanguard's lead include Merrill Lynch, Citibank, UBS, and my good old buddy Edward Jones. I think it's a foolish move as they're ultimately losing out on a potentially big revenue opportunity and could drive away a lot of clients from their platform to places like Fidelity and Schwab that do allow the trading of the ETF. So what am I personally doing with all this? At this time, I have no plans to buy the ETF. That doesn't mean I never will in the future, but for now, I'll continue to dollar cost average small amounts of Bitcoin each month and hold it directly in my own wallet. As usual, you need to assess your own risk tolerance, determine if you want to own Bitcoin or any other crypto, and if so, determine how much you want to allocate to it. All right, so that's going to wrap up this video. Stick around, I'm going to have some highlights of my workout. I did a back workout today, so if you want to see more of that content, I'll try and include that in my videos going forward, and I'll catch you guys next time.